When you get into the pads in the coming week, how physical will you be this spring versus springs past? Will you have, I guess, more bodies perhaps this spring than last spring? Will that play a factor into how physical you are?
Well, I think it will moving forward. Obviously, our first day of pads is going to be Monday. So, we always plan on having very physical practices and always have. And how long you can go in terms of the physicality and doing it every day, that's got to become a way of life for us. But in the same breath, you also have to be very conscientious of depth. And generally that starts on the O&D lines. So our plan is for this to be a very, very physical spring practice. Our plan is to start that Monday, and then moving forward, we'll gauge that, based on the health of our team.
You look at your defensive line, a lot of those guys have seemingly had good off seasons, lost weight, gained weight, whatever. Do they just look different now when you see them out there?
I think they do. I think they do. I think they're growing up some. I think their bodies are changing. I think a lot of the guys, the plan that we put forward for them, in the weight room, whether it be gaining strength, losing weight, gaining weight, whatever it may be, and there's a lot of variations in there. I think they've really, done a nice job. I think Coach Yox has done a nice job of getting these guys kind of shaped into, what we envision them, being. And obviously the inside defensive linemen and the outside defensive linemen have different roles, but I think their bodies are changing, and I think they're growing into what we need them to be. Now they got to grow into that same mold when it comes to playing football.
Do you think that, with new installation on both sides of the ball, kind of going back to the physicality thing, with that taking place, will that kind of slow down, as many physical drills as y'all do to kind of save time for the installation, with it being so new to everybody, or will you just play
Well, one thing that we're trying to impart on our players is that regardless of whether we make a mistake or regardless of, how much thinking is going on out there, the physicality part of the game is something that we can't, concede. So we hope that it doesn't slow them down. We know that the natural progression is that when you are thinking on both sides of the ball, you have a tendency to not, be as physical early on. But again, we're going to try to, make sure that everything we do has got a physical mentality attached to it. So we'll see how the progression goes, but that's going to be a big goal of ours for the spring.